8 of the San Antonio Marshalls franchise. We are here in the 05 offseason. And I asked you guys as we ended the last episode if you wanted me to be a big spender this year in free agency. To be completely honest with you, didn't get overwhelmingly response to spend in excess. It's unfortunate that pretty much every position that had a big free agent that would be an interesting target. We got Justin Smith, who's in his prime. We got Michael Bennett at running back. Maybe add like a veteran like Marvin Harrison. Like, it's just, it didn't work out to the positions that we desperately need to get better at. Meant that we had to spend a lot of money. So I kind of just went with the budget route this year, even though, like I said, someone like Justin Smith would be very, very nice. He's 99 overall and he's 25. Like, you're going to have like one of the best edge rushers going. But I mean, we already have OC Muir there. He's 23, he's 87. I mean, in 2 years' time, he'll probably be well into the 90s anyway. So I kind of looked more so for a budget type offseason. And actually, digging through some of these players, like, I really want to get a wide receiver, right? And you see some of the big names here. You get Marvin Harrison, Robert Ferguson, Joe Horn, Keyshawn Johnson, TJ Who's Your Mom. I was like, okay, yeah, these are the guys. And I did a little bit of digging. I ended up like, look, Wes Welker, 76 overall, 24 years old, has a quick depth, is just sitting there. We need a new slot wide receiver. He's struggling a little bit in the league. Already has a -1 confidence, but I feel like he can come in. We know what kind of dangerous playmaker he can be, especially out of the slot, so it makes a whole lot of sense to look at bringing him in. My general short list right now, we have Lee Bawden at corner. He's a 78 overall corner, 24, 6'2", adds a little bit of size. That could be the biggest argument against our secondary right now. Is Asante Samuel, Glenn, they're not your prototypical long, rangy corner. So a guy like Bawden comes in and could definitely, fill out the group. Pretty competitive bid here from the second place team, the Dallas Cowboys, 99 points, our big rivals. So it would be very annoying to lose out on him. But, I don't really want to overpay for a depth player at this given time. I think Wes Welker will be very interesting. I think we have a very competitive bid of 8 points. Maybe we'll round that up to $2 million, or $1.9 million signing bonus. So that helps us out a little bit, which it does. And then we're just looking for a depth center here. We have Eugene Amano. I'm not going to lie, never really heard of him, but he's a 74. He's quick dev. He's 23, and will definitely be a big upgrade over Overhauser as our depth to McKinney at center. So let's hope we can land these guys and then jump into a very important draft for the Marshalls. And coming from the first wave, we actually lost out on Bawden to the Dallas Cowboys, which is incredibly frustrating, but we did get Wes Welker and Amano. So I do kind of want to add, we still got $64 million of available cap, and Justice Smith's still on the market. I do want to add a corner before we get into free agency. And obviously, you look at Jamar Fletcher here. He's a really good playmaker, but I just want a bigger outside corner. I don't want to get, who's this? Dwayne Patman could maybe work. He's 6 feet tall. Got good speed, 93 speed. All right, you know what? We'll offer this guy, Patman here, a little bit of a deal. 3 years. $11.2 million. No one else is really showing a lot of interest in him. So, hey, why not? He adds a dimension that we're currently lacking in our secondary. So as we get into the draft, a quick refresher of some of the names that are found in the first round, just because the Seahawks are up on the clock and you might not see them. Heath Miller, we got Roddy White, Aaron Rodgers out of Cal. We got Matt Jones, who liked the old Booga Sugar. Dave Pollock, Derek Johnson, Thomas Davis, Sean Merriman, DeMarcus Ware, Pac-Man Jones, Cadillac Williams. The nicknames are on fire here. Cedric Benson, Braylon Edwards, Ronnie Brown, and Alex Smith. So, it is a top-heavy class. The more and more I look through it, because it's been a while since I've been able to double-check on it. Maybe we could have been a little bit more aggressive in free agency because the positions that we do need. We're going to kind of be left holding our junk if we don't get one of these outside linebackers, just one of these linebackers in general. So, fingers crossed that one of these guys can slip to us, but let's start the draft. So, of course, literally there was a run on linebackers, and we're stuck here with really one option, I feel like. And that's Dave Pollock here from Georgia. In real life, got drafted in the first round of the Cincinnati Bengals. Actually looked pretty promising, and then I think he had to retire after his rookie year because he messed his neck up. But when he was at Georgia, he was like the best defensive player in the SEC. And, he's more of a defensive... the only thing is he's not really a scheme... Even though it says he's a scheme fit, he's more of a defensive end than he's outside linebacker. But we're kind of pushing into a corner here. We desperately need to upgrade our linebacking core. So with our first round selection, we're going to select David Pollock and try to turn his career around and keep him healthy. The linebacker from Georgia. And he comes out as a 77 normal. 84 tackle, 84 hit power. He's a good athlete. 82 speed, 84 acceleration. Block shedding is fairly strong. Not much, he's not terrible in coverage either. 70 zone, 64 man. All right, let's turn his career on. Let's resurrect Dave Pollock's career. All right, well, as As we go to our second pick, the player that I wanted is gone. I wanted Frank Gore in the second round because we've had some issues with Michael Turner as our running back, as that's been noted throughout some of the gameplay. So let's go back here to our draft board and see who's still available. You got Alex Smith, Maurice Claret. You got Darren Sproles there. Evan Mathis. Like this year, I might have to make the Evan Mathis pick. We don't really need a guard per se, but Evan Mathis is one of my favorite players of all time, and sometimes willing to take liberties and make sure I can play with guys I like. Same goes with Trent Cole, maybe to a lesser extent. I was just more of a big fan of him because of, you know, certain biases I may have. So at pick in the second round, the best value pick here would be maybe getting a guy like Alex Smith and trying to trade him. Vincent Jackson is an appropriate pick. What was his 40? A 4.41? There's no way he ran a 4.41 in real life. That's 6'5", 4.41. That actually might even be too good to pass up and see. What's Mathis? He's supposed to go mid-third round. But look at that combine for Mathis. Second or first in every single category. I'm just going to make it, and then we'll see what the rest of the board goes, because I'm not going to miss out on one of my favorite Eagles of all time. We're going to select Evan Mathis, and he's a 79 star guard, 89 strength. Everything else pretty much in the 80s, 76 speed. Awesome. Moving into round 3, where we have pick 10 and pick 11. Our board's not looking super hot right now. You know, we always try to take, because we know some of these players are going to be good. The rule of thumb, you go a round or two above. So sitting here in the third round, I think third, fourth round selections could come into play. And unfortunately for us, Kerry Rhodes is the only player that fits that mold right now. For a need, because we don't really need a tackle here. We got Todd Father. This was a good draft for the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, Evan Mathis wasn't drafted by the Eagles, eventually ended up there. But you got Harrimans and Trent Cole. I really want Trent Cole. There's some good UDFAs that we know about, like Josh Cribbs will be in. Look at that 7-7 combo grade. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna use my 7th round pick. There's some good UDFAs. I'll make one pick. I'm not gonna, you know, load my team up, but there's some good UDFAs. Brandon Browner has some off the field issues right now in real life. Cam Wake and Josh Cribbs, but just knowing where our team's weak at, getting a guy like Josh Cribbs in the 7th will be nice. But we got Maurice Claret here, who's one of the, you know, most polarizing. I don't know if a lot of people know about him though. I know like a guy like Darren Sproles. You know, I'm gonna break my rule. I'm gonna grab Darren Sproles. Where it's like Darren Sproles, 74 star dev out of Kansas State, very nice. And we're right back up on the clock here at pick 11, and we'll stay within the rules here at pick 11. We'll only go around above what we're supposed to. Like, look, yeah, like Mike Nugent. Reggie Brown. I remember Reggie Brown, wide receiver for the Eagles. He was garbage. He was like our best wide receiver for like a considerable amount of time. But we'll go back to our draft board here. Stick to the rules of only going 2 rounds ahead, and we'll select Kerry Rhodes, the safety from Louisville. I kind of remember him from his time. I think he was at the Jets and Cardinals. I had to guess 2 teams. He's coming in at 74 quick. I mean, not a game changer right away, but you know, nice solid depth there at safety, because both of our safeties right now are on the wrong side of 30, so it's nice to start to have a contingency plan for years beyond. Alrighty, let's get a full-on draft recap. You guys saw the first 3 rounds. I finished up the draft. We did pretty well, so just a quick recap. We got Dave Pollock in the first round, a guy that his NFL career was cut short due to injury very, very early, but looked very promising for the Cincinnati Bengals and was a beast in the SEC for Georgia. So we're going to hope that, you know, he doesn't suffer one of those like 1 in a million Madden career-ending injuries that can happen, even though we've never had them happen on the channel. Hopefully there's no karma. He's a nice little fit, and we need to definitely upgrade the outside linebacker spot. In the second round, we get Evan Mathis, one of my favorite Philadelphia Eagles ever, one of the best social media accounts when he was active in the league. He is a 79 star dev type guard. Do we need a guard? Not necessarily, but he's, you know, every year, if I can, I will probably try to draft players that I am huge fans of versus, you know, maybe, you know, going with the best decision from a depth chart standpoint. And that was kind of the case here in the second round with Evan Mathis. In the third round, kind of breaking our own rule where you can only draft a round or 2 above where we're picking, just to bend the rules slightly to bring in Darren Sproles. I mean, it wasn't an overpowered pick. He's a 74. He's a star dev. I mean, yeah, maybe the dev trait's pretty good. But, you know, we definitely need to solve the running back room. And unfortunately, Frank Gore went before we could pick in the second round. I definitely wanted him to be my primary target. So, I mean, just to get a guy that I know a lot of people are going to enjoy, trying to see if we can make Darren Sproles maybe an every down starter, not just a gimmicky third round back like he was with pretty much his whole career with the Chargers, then with the Saints, and then with the Philadelphia Eagles. So our running back competition is wide open, and Darren Sproles could very well emerge as our starter. And then you also saw Kerry Rhodes, the safety out of Louisville, more so a depth pick at this time. So then from there, we went in the 4th round. We want to get better at corner. Unfortunately, didn't fit the mold that we want, that we're kind of previewing in free agency for our secondary. We want to get a little bit bigger, a little bit taller, whereas Ellis Hobbs, who spent some time with the Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots, 5'9", 192. But he's still a nice player, got good speed, 92 speed, 94 acceleration, gets 70 catching. He's just a solid depth player there at this point. Then look at this guy, Patrick Estes, a tight end. I needed a second tight end. We only have one on the roster. Billy Miller's like a receiving tight end, so I was like, all right, let's see if we can get a guy that's a blocker. And I started looking at the stats here. Okay, 71. That's a decent rating. You got 79 speed, 81 acceleration, 84 strength. His catching stats, in the 60s, 70s, high 60s, low 70s. Nothing special there. But I was like, all right, whatever. He fits the mold. We're in round 6 here. Then I just noticed his size. He's 6'7", 310. I was like, all right, I got to Google this. This is a glitch or anything like that. And no, it wasn't. Actually, Patrick Estes was regarded as one of the top tight ends going out of high school to Virginia. Played tight end throughout his career in Virginia. Got drafted as a tight end by the 49ers from Virginia, and they eventually converted him to a tight end. So he's fairly similar to what we have with Jason Peters, whereas Peters is very much going to be our left tackle. And a guy like Estes is an awesome option for that second tight end that's primarily going to be used as a blocker in our offense. And then as I previewed you guys with our UDFA 7th round pick, I was going to select Josh Cribbs. We had some interesting options here. There was Brandon Browner. There was Cam Wake. But I just wanted to get a playmaker, even just from special teams ability alone. And Josh Cribbs was one of the best special team return man in, I don't want to say NFL history, but he got to be up there. So he's a 67 quick. He's not much of a receiver. 72 catching. His route running is not particularly great, but that 93 speed, 95 acceleration. We got 86 kick return. For those of you that don't remember Josh Cribbs, kind of think Cordero Patterson, maybe even a little bit worse of a receiver than Patterson. Cribbs is the kind of guy that would just be lethal when the ball got into his hands. The difficulty was finding a way to get it. Either you had to do some gimmicky screen pass or a wide receiver run or just via special teams, because his route running was never particularly great. His catching was never particularly. I wouldn't be surprised. I didn't look, but I wouldn't be surprised if the most receiving yards Josh Cribbs had in a year was 400 or something like that. But a dangerous return man, and we definitely need something like that, a dimension to our team that we have been lacking. So it was a pretty good draft haul. Let's look and try to find out where some of these other big-time studs might have landed. The first round, first overall pick went Braylon Edwards, wide receiver from Michigan. Many of you might remember he had some good years, up and down years, but some pretty good years with the Cleveland Browns. Pac-Man Jones went at 2, DeMarcus Ware at 3. I wanted Sean Merriman so bad. He went at pick 6, back to the chart where he actually got drafted. Let's see. Roddy White is now a member of the Cincinnati Bengals. We got Heath Miller of the Colts. Jeez, not a whole lot. Second round, some guys slipped. Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, 80 overall. Frank Gore's there in Chicago. What we got here? Vincent Jackson, Northern Colorado. Richie Incognito went to the Saints. Where did Alex Smith? Alex Smith went all the way. Projected to be the number... Man, that's something they got to fix in Madden, the drafting logic. Alex Smith projected to be the number 1 overall pick, and he went in the 3rd round to the Seattle Seahawks. It's a little bit weird. That's something that hopefully we'll get in Madden 20 is better trade logic, because they have all that scenario stuff that teams would clearly, when you have 2 80-plus quarterbacks, they're not going to slip into late first and all the way down to the 3rd round. So there we go. We found some homes from these guys. Let's get into the preseason here and wrap up the episode. Oh, let's go. Game 3 of the preseason. That's where we get a little bit of an encore presentation of the starters. The starters' final time appearing in the preseason. This is what we're always going to do. We're 1-0-1. We tied our first preseason game. We won our second, and now we're trying to dog the Patriots here. And, just get a nice win with the stars and get out healthy. That's obviously the first priority, is make sure no injuries, anything annoying like that. We got Romo. Don't take a hit. Oh, he's scared of that. Romo, that was not good. You don't want him getting hit like that. You get flashbacks of back injuries in the preseason. Don't want to bring that one up for Cowboy fans, but, kind of had to. Oh, we throw it into the end. Oh, it's Wes Welker. Wes Welker. Even though it is the preseason, getting that connection going out of the slot. Big things ahead. Big things ahead. Wes Welker catching a tutty from Tony Romo out of the slot. Beautiful. Oh, let's go Michael Turner. He knows he has Darren Sproles living the backside of his head rent-free right now as they compete for the running back gig. In 68 yards, Michael Turner in the preseason might just have him remain the top dog as we get ready for week 1. Oh my God, and Darren Sproles just like that. This is one hell of a competition, baby. That's what I want to see. Every time we played before last year, it felt like we're getting negative yards in the game. Just like that, the competition between Darren Sproles and Michael Turner, 2 former Charger running backs, is heating up. Oh, let's go, Wes Welker. Get your way in the end zone. Gets a face mask. Dirty. Classic Bill Belichick-led Patriots. Dirty. Face mask in the preseason. We'll put him on the 1 and see if we're special this one in. There you go. There you go. Oh my God, look at Darren Sproles. Doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense, but God, I love him. Oh, let's go. Josh Cribbs, get the game winner. Yeah, baby. Who says you can't be a receiver? Maybe that's going to be our new project. Develop Josh Cribbs into a legit NFL receiver. And there we go, boys. That's our preseason performance. Couldn't have asked for anything better. 49-30, big time shootout. We get to see what we had, though. We got to see what we had. Romo, pretty good game. Had the lackadaisical interception, but other than that, was very efficient. Kyle Bowler came in, and literally for whatever reason, anytime I play with Kyle Bowler, we play very, very well. From a running attack, we questioned our running backs. And look at this. We got 10 touches, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns here for Michael Turner. 4 touches, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns from Darren Sproles. 4 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown here from Welker. Andre had 92. Cribbs had a touchdown. Darren Sproles, 3 catches, 62 yards. So that puts him at over 150 yards from scrimmage in his little debut performance for us. Yeah, that's huge, man. That's absolutely huge from a team that literally got negative rushing yards, it felt like, every time we played last year. We got a couple sacks here, Payne and Foreman, a couple picks from Hobbs. I like seeing that from the rookie. And Jamie Sharper at middle linebacker. That is a big win here in the preseason and giving a lot of momentum. A lot of fans are getting hope right now that the Marshals, now in year 3, can finally make that Super Bowl or at least playoff run. And that will bring us here to week 1 as we start that 2005 season. We're going to start it on the road against the Seattle Seahawks. Does that mean the assumed number 1 overall pick that ended up slipping to the Seahawks in the 3rd round, Alex Smith, will be the starting quarterback? Let's find that out right now. I want to know what kind of QB we're going up against here in Seattle. Is it going to be some busta like baldy Matt Hasselbeck, which it is, with Alex Smith there waiting to take over? Oh, shout out to Seneca Wallace as well. But that will be a big time opening week, and I hope you guys do tune in later on in this week for episode 9 of the Marshall. But that was the offseason, and I tried my best to follow what you guys were saying about, maybe being a little bit conscientious with our spending in free agency, which way we were. We still got a great ad in Wes Welker, who I think out of the slot, the sky is going to be the limit for this guy. Even though he has maybe the most grotesque beard, Abe Lincoln, looks like Khabib Nurmagomedov. Probably butchered that. Khabib. He's going to be a baller. I think he's going to be a baller for us. And in the draft, we got Josh Cribbs, we got Darren Sproles, we got Evan Mathis, who's now our new starter at right guard or left guard. Either way, you can play either guard. Dave Pollock trying to save a player's career around. Lots of interesting options here. So I think it was a pretty good offseason. Let me know how you guys feel about this offseason in the comment section below. And if it's your first time stopping by, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys later on in the week when we return back with the Marshals for the first half of the regular season, as well as previewing the 2006 draft class. That is it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching. And until next time, it's E4 saying peace out.
Money I'm spending, I'm out and I'm shopping. You talking that shit when you talking and talking. Look at my options, look at me dropping. Ass in the game like, who are you stopping? Not me.